Hello, good people. Welcome to our show. Hello, bad people. Welcome to our show. Anyone who wanna learn more about lead generation, B2B lead generation, welcome. I'm so excited to discuss this topic with Lee Goff. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
And
We
thank you so
record
much.
this podcast.
Thank
Yeah,
you so
we
much for
record
having
this
me on the show
podcast.
today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, a big pleasure. I want to learn more, especially about lead generation, because marketers often create content that didn't convert. And I see all the time. I remember when I spoke with webmaster who lost 400,000 traffic, a lot of traffic. Yeah, he spent so much time to create this content, but he didn't lose any sales. So I don't know why we need to have this traffic. And marketers chase metrics like likes, comments, many things, but it doesn't help to sell. Lee, before we start, just tell more about yourself, experience, background, and anything that can help our listeners to learn more about you.
Definitely. I'm Lee Goff. I am a marketing agency coach. I started my very first agency in 2003. Built that into it actually ended up being is Keep now. It used to be Infusionsoft. We were the world's largest implementation partner for Keep, the CRM. And I eventually sold that, successfully exited that company in June of 2016. And since then, I have dedicated my professional career to making agency owners' lives easier. So that's what we do,
Mhm.
right? And so all I do, that's it. Every single thing we do around here is basically filtered through that purpose statement. And so since then, I have a full course catalog that can teach agency owners how to do propose everything, proposals, automation, follow up, and all that fun stuff. And in the past year and a half, I have been developing software products that actually empower small and medium and large agencies with enterprise level B2B lead generation tools. And so I'm very excited to talk about that today. So
Nice, nice. Love it, love it. Awesome. Uh, I wanna start from your methods, how you teach others. You mentioned that you can help with the right knowledge, and I'm interested your methods because I often see when students can learn and do nothing, or do less than they can do, and it's not good because it's not like how much you can learn. It's more how you can implement, how to execute. So tell your methods, how to transfer the right data to the students' minds directly.
well, I will. So first, I want to address something you just said about, it's not about learning; it's about taking action and implementing, right? And so,
Yeah.
I think in today's society, and I think a lot of coaches out there preach this that you should read a book a week or something along those lines, to where you're constantly absorbing new information, but you're not actually pushing that information out. The reason people do these podcasts and the reason people write books and do courses is with the intent that hopefully you'll take it and take action on it, right? And so
Mhm.
when I was building my agency, I read literally, I think maybe one, two, or three books a year. But those books, they were highlighted and they were beat up on and they were,
Yeah.
dog eared. I mean, it was my Bible for that year to fix whatever problem I had in my agency. So that I would say don't stop learning. That's not what I'm saying, but learn stuff that's not just free busy work. Learn stuff that's actually going to change your life, and that made a big difference for me. Now, and I got so caught up in that. What was the second part of the question again?
Yeah. I mean, like how you teach
Oh,
others in simple way too. Yeah.
yeah. So what I do is I take a three-pronged approach to it. Okay, it's a very real-world type coaching program. I don't care about selling 5,000 courses like most coaches do, in my opinion. I care about getting results. And so here's how I do it. Okay, I have what's called the tribal knowledge. That's my online course content. That's to take you from not knowing anything about whatever topic it is, right, up to where you have a solid baseline. I then take that and combine that information into a one-on-one coaching session. And so I'm now applying the strategic knowledge, right, into your specific agency. And then I hold you accountable. So I'll follow up with you and hold you accountable. That's the three parts. We get the tribal basic knowledge, to where a lot of times people just don't even know what a KPIs are, or call to action, or whatever the terminology might be. So we have to get them up to speed on the basic tribal terminology. From there, we customize it specific to their agency and their dreams and their visions. And then from there, I hold them accountable. That's why I have built, to my best account, about 16 or 17 multiple seven-figure agencies outside of mine, right? Meaning coaching students. I typically work with about 10 to 12 people a year in my one-on-one capacity. So
yeah, love it, awesome. Yeah, and I agree. It's not how many books you can read. If you can read a book a week, that's okay, but you need to have this quality reading. I remember when I learned from Bill Gates, he said that he usually makes notes by reading books. So because he thinks how he can implement these skills. But if you read like my son, he can tell me, I read 50 pages. What? Okay, tell me what you learned from these 50 pages. Not a lot. So I usually
I think some people just read to make them, I don't know, I'm not quite exactly sure. I love learning, and so understand I'm always learning, but I'm doing that whether it be short stories or watching your YouTube or whatever it might be, right? But when I get a book and I'm going deep on something, right? Yeah, you can go wide and go deep. So, and when I'm going deep on something, I mean, I got some back here that still have all my notes and everything in it, and it's highlighted, it's pinned, it's like, okay, and then I'm calling my leadership team in, hey, what is this? How do we do this here? Right? And that to me is how you become successful. You take action on what you're learning, not just to learn, right? I think that's a big differentiator between the success stories and the people who have a tendency to kind of spin their wheels a little bit. So
yeah, nice. Once I watched interview with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he got the question how he could achieve success in sport, in movies, in politics, and he replied that he always has a clear vision.
Yes,
he knows his goals, what he wants to achieve, and he doesn't care what haters or anyone can tell. It's impossible. Just change the approach. But what I like on this interview, because clear vision is a must-have in marketing and lead generation everywhere. Because I see when companies do something because competitors do, they don't know how it works, and they don't consider their strong sides, unique selling proposition, many things. Chase vanity metrics, traffic, likes, comments. It doesn't help. Can you tell how to create this clear vision like Arnold Schwarzenegger did? I mean, like to know what kind of goals you wanna achieve, because if you get some metrics without sales, it's useless.
absolutely. So kind of explain how I coach towards creating a vision. I will say in my experience, most of the time people that have a that have a higher candidly, okay, vision breaks down into what's called purpose statement, mission statement, okay, and then your core values. That's the three pillars of what's called a vision statement, okay. And your purpose is kind of like your North Star, okay, meaning it's something you're always going towards, but it's actually never attainable. You can actually never go grab the North Star. You can't, but it'll guide you, and it's guided ships for thousands of years on the right navigation path. And then your mission statement is going to be the goal, the next 3 to 5 or 5 to 7 year goal, and the core values, not to get into all that. But in my opinion, that purpose statement that is kind of defines your higher calling, your North Star, the thing that can never be achieved, it really comes from here. And so let me explain how I did it. And I know we're on a podcast, you can't see, but if you see the video over my shoulder right here, there's a painting that my mom painted for my first agency. And the whole purpose, the vision statement behind that was to level the playing field between big business and small business. I felt like big business had an unfair competitive advantage. I didn't like it. It drove me nuts. So I dove head first into solving that problem. And that never changed. All the way until the day I sold it, right? It never changed. We reworded it a little bit, okay? And actually, we distilled it down to help small businesses succeed is where it ended up. But ultimately, that's where it started. Now, and that one, sorry, right there, okay, is exactly what I just got through saying, is to make agency owners' lives easier. And I feel that at my core. It's not something I made up. It's not something I read out of a book. I felt that, and then I defined my vision in words. So make sure whatever you're doing, okay, a purpose is not something that changes every year or 2 or 10 or 50. Okay, a purpose is something you were born with. I'm sorry, it's born, like in business terms. If you're born, it means when you start your business, right? When you give birth to your new business per se, your purpose stays that way for the most part forever. You might can alter it a little bit, but very few changes, right? And so just make sure whatever you're doing, purpose is never around money. Okay, purpose is never around material things. Purpose is a higher calling that comes from the heart, that you're attempting to literally change something of substance, like people's lives, or the unfair advantage that big business has over small business, or, insert whatever it is you want to change. That, to me, is where a successful purpose statement comes from. And when you have a successful purpose, mission, and core values, then the vision becomes easy. You get a team all beating to the same drum, and now it becomes magical.
Nice. I couldn't agree more because, I remember my failure, when I started one project because of chasing money. I felt that I could earn a lot of money easily because I found the gap in one niche. But no, I wasted resources for 3 years, hired a lot of people, but after 3 years, I quit. I quit. I gave up because I hated Monday. I loved Friday. That was not my passion. Far away from my understanding of this life. So I quit, and I couldn't agree more because you need to love what you do. You need to have this passion. You need, if you chase money, if you chase some wealth, it doesn't work.
It will not get you through the bad times. It will not get you through whenever, for lack of a better term, the shit's hitting the fan, and it's going to, guaranteed. Okay, like if you think it's not, then I don't know how to answer that question, but I promise you it's going to. And when it does, and it'll be repeated, it'll be almost like it's never ending sometimes. Okay, I'm not trying to paint a bad picture here, but we're solving big problems a lot of times, right? So if you don't have a true calling, and again, money is never it. If money and greed is it, okay, then you don't have a purpose. You have a goal, a financial goal, which is admirable. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But if you want to build a larger, sustainable, highly reputable type company that you can be proud of and showcase, and maybe even hand down to your kids or whatever you want to do with it, it is going to start and end with a vision statement, purpose, mission, and core values, guaranteed. So, and I know that, by the way, my first agency won Top Company Culture in Entrepreneur Magazine in this small enterprise in 2015, and the year after I sold it. I can't take credit for that one. They did that on their own, but the 2015 I can take credit on. So, and we were, again, and all that stems from just having a higher calling, that North Star, chasing that unattainable vision that always guides you in the right direction. So.
Nice. Yeah, we should record this episode before I started this business, but anyway, today, no worries, it happened, and it's not my one failure. I think failing is part of the process, because I usually start from best practices, generic strategies, then I can adapt, find what actually will work, and for me it's important to enjoy the process. If you don't,
that's it.
What I usually see when people ask what actually worked today, like video, articles, I don't know, social media, everything works, but you need to love it. If I don't like to film short videos, I don't need to go to TikTok. You can go to TikTok if you can hire someone who can decide this problem. If you wanna do yourself, avoid it. If you don't like it, if you enjoy filming short videos, why not? Go to TikTok, go to Instagram Reels, to any place. Love it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Lee, you mentioned a few times about your course. We have millions course today. I have my course, and when I decided to create my course, the main goal was to satisfy intent of some customers that come to my agency. And if I see they have the right knowledge, we decided to create the course. And we have our strong side, unique selling proposition, because I cooperated with many great experts, Lily Ray, Jeff Coyle, Mike Phillips, Chelsea Ellis. prominent experts who got mentions on Forbes, Search Engine Journal. Great people. And we created this course because we didn't want to create one more course. Our goal was to create something new, valuable, from experts with practical tips. It costs like $20 on Udemy, not a lot. It's not our business model, but and if I see the gap of knowledge, I tell, take my course or go to YouTube, go to Google, doesn't matter, find books, get the basic. Then we can
You hit the
speak
nail
one
on the
language. Yeah, we can understand each other. Can you tell about benefits that I can get, my audience can get by taking your course? What kind of value we can get? Because a million courses are there, so we need to know why your course is better.
Well, I'll tell you why I think mine's better, and I'll tell you also why my students think, feel, and know it's better. And mine actually it touches on a point you just got to saying, the basics. Okay, and so most people get so caught up in the shiny object, they're chasing the next squirrel, or they're chasing the next cool thing. Well, I hate to break it to you, but if you want to be successful, there's some very fundamental things you've got to get in place. Okay, one is leadership. I have it's called the agency roadmap. And so it literally guides you from step one all the way through. Okay, step one is determining your niche, right? Which direction or who are you going to target? Step two is to get your products in place. Step three, you get a proposal to sell the products to the target audience. And it goes through that whole process. And so it teaches you sales and marketing automation, the fundamentals, how to get it in place. It's not the most advanced thing, but it's timeless and it works. Niching down, again, timeless, it works. Product lines, again, timeless. It just works. Okay. Same thing with proposals, same thing with business development, same thing with my project management system, legal agreements, scope documents, and all of that fun stuff. So the reason mine works, and the reason I haven't even updated it since I think 2018, is because it's timeless and it works for every single agency. It is not the shiniest object. It is not the sexiest topic, but it is the shovel and the pickaxe and the hammer you need to build your house, right? And without these fundamentals, okay, you're going to have a very difficult time because you're always going to be spinning your wheels, okay? And so make sure you get a hold of a full system. Just a minute ago, I heard you mention that you can go to Google and you can do this. And I personally think that that's, everybody can go to Google for individual things, but when you're trying to build something of substance, you need the entire system. Because if you take, sales and marketing tips from here and combine it with just social media management here and a proposal over here, well, they're all disjointed, right? They don't talk. They're not saying the same things. They're three completely different systems, right? So make sure you get a full system that teaches you everything and it's all connected, because that's what a business is. It's like your body, okay? You can't take one organ out of your body and expect your body to work. That's not how this works. Same thing in your business. There are certain things you have to have there, okay? Again, leadership, proposals, sales and marketing, project management, niching down, product lines, all of these should sound familiar, okay? And whenever you get these things in place, I'm a Southern guy. It's called football. So blocking, and it's like you get the basics taken care of. And now everything from that point forward gets so much easier. And I mean everything. Everything. Paying every cash flow, everything gets better when you have a full system and you start from the beginning, go all the way through and work it through. It's just the right path to go. So.
Yeah, nice.
Mine is my stuff is timeless. It has worked for decades, hell, centuries, if you want to. I applied my old school. I was raised by an entrepreneur, and my grandfather was an entrepreneur. I went to college for business, so I learned all of the old school ways, if that makes any sense. And then I applied it to digital, and that is the unique nature in mine. It takes timeless business tactics and strategies with cutting edge technology and tools, and allows you to build the agency that you dreamed of when you first started your business. So.
Nice. Yeah, I'll submit this course in the description, guys. So if you wanna take it because you can see it works everywhere.
Yeah. And it's on
all the
marketingagencycoach.com if you want to learn more about that. So
okay, nice. You mentioned that you can help to use automation in the process. And what I see when salespeople and marketers can lose personalization, if they use automation, they can lose it. And I get a lot of emails every single day. People trying to sell me guest posts, I don't know, link building, many things. I'm not their audience. They don't know anything about me. But the best place where I lead all these messages, my spam inbox, they can spend time together, communicate, I don't know. But I think it's not only my issue. Everyone gets such messages every single day, plus 100 emails a day. I get the same on LinkedIn. Can you tell how to use personalization
Yes, I can.
in automation?
Yeah. And it's actually my wheelhouse. My first agency was a marketing automation agency. That's what I did. You know, we built stuff for, I mean, Damon John, you name it. The country of Fiji, you know, a bunch of huge names, right? So anyway, so I could not agree more with you on this. People have a tendency to just throw automation out there. So let me explain how I coach to this. One, it starts with the B2B lead generation platform. It's called agencysonar.com. Okay. The reason that that's important is because it's going to give you warm leads instead of having a carpet bomb cold emails. It's absolute game changer. So now you're getting warm leads instead of cold emails. That is the first step. Okay. Cold emails are good. They work. Not arguing that. Okay. But it's better to talk to people with real intent, meaning they came to your website or something. They raised their hand. Okay. So always have an inbound strategy where you're getting new blood in the door, new prospects or whatever in the door. Now, in that system, the agency sonar system that I just mentioned, we built out a full automated follow-up system, but here's the difference. In the very first email, we deliver what's called overwhelming value. How do we do that? Uniquely to the prospect, right? How do we do that when we want to do it to 100 people or 10 or 20 or whatever it is? Well, Agency Sonar tells me all their pain points. They visited my website. They went to web design, they went to SEO, and they went to social media services. That's their pain points. That's what they're interested in. So in our system, we allow you to actually showcase your expertise. So you see what they're interested in. You have their first name, last name, cell phone numbers, all of it, because our system gives you not only the company information, it actually gives you the individual personal contact information. With one button, go straight into Go High Level. From there, you pull up your Loom video, you go to their website, and you show your expertise. You run a web audit, you go through the web audit, you compare what they see in the web audit to what you see on their web page. It's about a 3 or 4 minute video. You take the embed code, you put it into one field. That's it. And then hit go. From there, all the personalization and automation are taken care of because you took the time to do a 3 or 4 minute video showcasing your expertise. So it sends out the email. It has an animated GIF with your face in the bottom corner, right? It has a picture of their website, of you going through their website. So you're delivering overwhelming value up front without expecting anything in return. That is how you drive a lot of leads and give personalization, okay, to like real content to real people with real pain points. That is how we do it. Now, from that point forward, it takes some of that video and it takes all the what's called custom events in the system, and it puts in your name, their phone number. You can even have their kids' names in there. It is insane, but it bleeds it down through the whole thing. So every email they're getting and every voice drop they're getting, okay, is custom and unique to them. I know that sounds crazy, but it's unbelievably powerful and it works. I mean, our agencies are absolutely crushing it. We guarantee to double and triple your leads from your existing traffic. And we guarantee that this warm lead, we call it the warm lead indoctrination campaign. That's the name of the campaign we do. Okay. It's going to close a lot more business out of that. You just got to learn the system, right? And once you learn the system, it's easy. It's like, you know, shooting fish in a barrel. So.
Yeah, I think easy if you have experience, if you know how to do it.
Well, and that's the thing. So we have all that experience, me and my team, which is about over 100+ years of experience in digital. Okay. So you don't have to. All you got to do is see, because it notifies you, hey, you got a lead on your website. Okay. Here's the company information. Here's the people you should call at that company. Now go record a video and you're done. I mean, it takes 3 minutes. It's unbelievably powerful. So.
Yeah, nice. You know, I love to learn marketing from big brands. For example, Apple. I remember when Tim Cook shared the story about new Apple Watch. After that, I bought 3 pairs. You know, for me, for my son, for my wife, Yeah.
I still have it on, but I love mine. So yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, uh, I bought 3 pairs because these guys probably kill me, if I buy only for myself. But anyway, and what I like to learn from Apple, how Tim Cook shared 3 stories about new Apple Watch. And you mentioned about pain points, and Tim Cook touched the point. He touched my pain points. He explained and showed 3 stories how Apple Watch can decide my problems, simplify my life, many things. But I often see when companies submit a lot of features that we are great, we have a bunch of features. Apple has these features, but Apple didn't pay attention in presentations to these features because other brands might have the same features, And but Tim Cook learn the points, and explain in simple way how Apple Watch can decide my problems. Can you tell how to do it? How to provoke such? Like how to create such marketing or sales methods to touch the point. Like to touch people problems, and get their pain points.
Yeah. So there's a fundamental. When I started learning marketing, I kind of took a little bit of a different approach to it than a lot of people did, meaning they'll go out there and find a guru or a book or whatever and read kind of thing. Me, I took a little bit of an approach. I kind of, again, old school. I went and actually studied human psychology and human sociology, right? That's kind of, if you think about it, everything we do, every single thing we do in the marketing world literally comes off of human psychology and human sociology. So let me explain why that's important, okay? I'm sure most of you know this, but literally 100% of your decisions begin and end with emotion. They're not logical.
Yeah.
We validate them with our big brains. Let me give you an example. Somebody wants to buy a convertible Porsche, whatever it is. Logically, there's no need to buy a convertible turbo red Porsche. But you can buy any car to get point A to B. Why would you want to buy the $400,000 the big Mac Daddy car? Well, it's because, maybe his friend bought one and he wants to keep up with the Joneses, or maybe it reminds him of a Porsche he had in high school. But I promise you, there's an emotional reason as to why they are seeking out that type of car. Now, logically, when they go to actually make the decisions around that, okay, what I just said was what's called an emotional hook. And then you have what's called psychological hurdles. The hook will always be satisfied. The hurdles are different. So, back to the convertible turbo red Porsche. There's no need to buy that. He could have went and easily bought a Camaro convertible for $200,000 cheaper, but he really wanted that one for whatever emotional reason. Now he's going to go, is it safe enough to take my granddaughter to church on Sunday? How much does it cost to replace the tires? Does it get good gas mileage? So you're logically going to start to validate the emotion, okay? I say all of this because the emotion, that's the pain point, okay? That is the pain point you have to focus on. So let me give you a real world example. With agencysonar.com, when somebody lands on your site, it says, hey, this company is on there and they visited your web design page, or they visited your social media services page. Insert whatever services they are. These people still think that they're anonymous. So when they're doing this, they're solving a pain. Their website sucks or it's not converting and they want a new website. Their actions are actually telling you what their pain points are. I'm not guessing. They tell me right there. I see it right in front of me. From that pain point, you do these little audits and these videos, and this applies to everything else. Once you understand the pain point, marketing becomes easy. You have to learn to get to the pain point. So I ask logical questions as to why did we decide to go this route? What is that about? Just keep asking the questions, and they will eventually get to them. A little pro tip. You ready?
Yeah.
Almost always, within the first 30 seconds to 60 seconds that a prospect is on the phone with you, they will almost blurt out their pain point by accident. Because it's been festering in them for months. They didn't want to fix that website for years or whatever. And they get on the phone and they'll blurt it out. Then you'll see they'll catch themselves. Oh, I'm on the phone with a website sales guy. I got to put my guard up now. Right. So a lot of times they'll tell you right up front. And if you don't get it right up front, be patient, keep asking the questions and find out the emotional, real reason that they're there. When you know that, it is so easy to overcome it. And again, when you have tools like Agency Sonar, it's black and white. You don't have to figure anything out. It figures it out for you. It's right in front of you. So.
Nice, nice, awesome. Yeah, valuable, interesting. I wanna ask about mistakes. I
Okay.
mentioned about one my mistake that I did with this project. It's not only one. I had other terrible mistakes as well, but I don't know another way how to learn. And I found that we have two types of mistakes. The first that you can avoid by learning from others. The second, you need to do it and to learn from this mistake. Can you list mistakes that we can avoid? From your experience, you see that companies, students still do, and your tips how to find another way.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let me first. A while ago, you said failure is something. Basically, is part of a success. Okay, the way I
Yeah.
always do this is like, in my opinion, failure. Those are the stepping stones to success. Without embracing failure, you cannot be successful. Period. It's not going to happen. If you think you're going to do everything perfectly, you're wrong. Okay,
Yeah.
you're wrong. You will make mistakes. Guarantee. You will screw up. Embrace the journey, like you were saying a while ago. Enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. That's how you're doing it. And here's the good news. You ready?
Yeah.
I have personally failed tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands of times. I've only been successful a few times.
Hmm.
I'm a successful dad. I was a successful business owner, and I've been successful in a few other things, but literally just a few things. I have literally failed hundreds of thousands of times in my journey on the way to becoming successful. That's it. I mean, it's not rocket science. It literally is it. Embrace the failures. Now, I'll also say, don't make huge mistakes. You need to make sure and mitigate those kind of mistakes. Okay. So, if you want me to you asked me to give you a list. Okay. And one of the biggest mistakes that agencies out there make is they don't define what they're selling. They're literally making it up in the damn sales call, like for real. Oh, I can do that. That kind of mentality, right? That is an absolute kiss of death. Okay, it's going to lead you into what's called scope creep, which is going to eat all of your profit, and you're going to end up in the exact same spot you were 90 days ago now. Okay, and you will repeat that cycle over and over and over. So get a product line. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be sexy. It's just got to be a product line that is predefined. Begin with the end in mind. Okay, predefined up front, and then you go sell that. This is here. I'll tell you one product. We sell a 10-page website. I own 20% of an agency down here, and we sell it for $3,000. And they have to pick from a framework. They can't. It's not a custom design. They pick from a framework. We style it out for them. Highly profitable. We make between $1,000 to $1,500 per site we build. Every single one of them sold for $3,000. Every one of them is black and white. You get A, B, C, D, D. This is exactly what you get. Done. Now, if they want to customize that package, do you think they're going to perceive it to be more expensive or less expensive? Right? You want something custom, it's always more expensive, right? You go buy a product, it's cheaper. So simply by having that product, it's going to allow you to have what's called a compare contrast. So now you can sell custom websites for $10,000 instead of $2,500 simply by having a product line, right? So get a product line in place. Okay, that is absolutely one of the most fundamental mistakes that everybody makes. Make sure you have a precise target audience. Now you can cater your product line to your target audience, like a lawyer. They always need forms, the ability to pay fees online. There's certain unique things that lawyers need on their website. Now you can have a website package specific for lawyers for $3,000. So define your target audience, define your products. You get those two things done, and a lot of the other mistakes that I could list for you go away.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I love it, love it. Yeah, because yeah, I made some terrible mistakes in 2008. I had financial company, and someone asked me to become a partner with good money, real good money. But I denied. I had other goals, but the world crisis changed everything. Uh, yeah. I didn't know that something can exist in this life that can smash you for 2 months. Everything that you invested to live with a lot of debts. So yeah, but today I don't worry about that. I got experience. I got experience that if everything looks fine, you need to have reserve fund. You need to be ready that things change fast because we live on this world, crazy world. uh,
Yes.
Lee, I wanna ask about one aspect that was simple to ignore, hard today, impossible to tomorrow, about AI. Now AI is everywhere.
Oh
I
yeah.
spoke with Jeff Coyle, co-founder of Market News. He told me that in the future we'll have three companies. The first company will develop AI, the second implement, and the third will be obsolete, who can leave the trade. So I think I use AI a lot, and I see when people, content creators, overuse AI to create generic prompts, nothing special, and I cooperate with many great experts who can post on Forbes, Investopedia, many other great websites, and even these people can overuse AI to create generic content.
Mhm.
I played a lot with prompts, and we got mentioned on CNN because of ChatGPT that helped us. My PR manager replied to me that it's the first time for 60 years of her career CNN replied and even mentioned, our press release. So
Cool.
yeah, I think if you use it smart, you can get results. Tell how you adapt to AI world and how you wanna change your approaches by using AI.
It actually goes back to that personalization topic that we were just a few minutes ago talking about. It's
Mm-hmm.
funny. I actually agency owner has partners. That means you can go out there and resell it and all these different things. And so we had our group coaching call with our partner channels yesterday, and the topic was Chat GPT and how to go about using it to deliver overwhelming value and highly personalized emails. And so I can give you some tips from that. I do agree with you, though. I think a lot of people are using it to create a lot of generic content. As with everything else, the human eye will get trained to see that type of generic content, right? So we'll see that that's BS. They didn't put a lot of time into it, or whatever. We'll figure it out. But in this case, what I did is I had the end goal in mind, and that is to deliver a highly personalized. I'm talking. You went to college at UMass. You studied this. You played football. Like unbelievably personalized emails. And so I went out and developed the top three tools you need to use. And one of them, by the way, is going to be in 4.0. They have the web browsing capability now, which is a game changer. So I'm sure you've already discussed that at another time, but that's huge. So what we do then is we educate the chatbot with the websites we want. Here's the guy we want to get. Here's there's three competitors, those type of things. Now, based upon everything you read, I want you to write up. I'm sorry, actually, what I asked to do is do a SWOT analysis between all four of them first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, create a company to compete with those four companies and tell me how to beat those four companies, right? The point I'm trying to make here is that I had a process, a goal to get to a highly personalized email, okay? And so a lot of people just throw crap up against the wall in Chat GPT, okay? And it's the exact same thing in Google and anything else. Good input equals good output. Bad input also equals bad output, okay? So begin with the end in mind. Think about what you're looking for, and then go research the prompts that are going to help you get there. I would like to kind of drop. There are a few prompts that I think everybody should know about. Let me pull this up real quick. I don't remember them all off the top of my head here, but one of them is going to be Prompt Smart. Okay, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Prompt Smart. One of them is called Talkberry, and then one of them is called Prompt Genius. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I hope I didn't. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if that's competitor. I hope they're not. But I mean, they really help, right? They help you determine which prompts are out there. Once you get the right prompts, you can save them, hit a button, boom, it's in, and it's just a really, really cool tools that can help you do that. So
Nice, awesome. And I have the final question about your experience. I found that, for me, it's important to cooperate with people who understand what we are doing. If they don't, I tell them, take my course, learn on Google, YouTube, just get the basic. Uh, if they understand, then we know why we need to create high quality content, what kind of content to create, how it's important to stand out from the rest, many things. Um, let's imagine you started today from scratch without any experience, knowledge, skills. It's your first day in B2B lead generation. What will you do today differently to learn about this topic?
About B2B lead generation specifically, actually, I would lean into big data, right? As candidly, AI is not going to drive as many leads as you think it's going to. Okay, it's just my dogs are out there about to go nuts too. Anyway, all right, that's too funny. I would lean into big data. This is by far the most powerful lead generation tool, and here's what I mean by that. Okay, is your laptop, your phone, it doesn't matter what it is, any digital device is going to create what's called a fingerprint, like a digital. Oh my gosh, look at that!
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is a beautiful dog. Anyway,
Yeah.
and your laptop, your search history, your everything creates what's called a digital fingerprint. Okay. Well, these digital fingerprints are actually archived and stored in data aggregation companies. Okay, Clearbit. There's a ton, Equifax, Duns and Bradstreet. There's a bunch of them out there. Okay. So the reason all of that is important is because maybe a lot of you have heard of Zoom Info, okay, and they can pull back the company information, which is all good. But whenever you can take that digital fingerprint and you can match that fingerprint of someone who came to your website and then match that to the pain points that they navigated to on your website, it really opens up everything. And so here's what happens. Okay, when you can learn to read your prospect's digital fingerprint, you now gain such transparency and actionable, this is the most important thing, actionable intelligence for your prospects.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so listen, Matt, let me give you a real world scenario on how this actually manifests itself. You have a website. Let's say you're a smaller agency. You have 200 to 500 people visiting your website. Okay, well, in the past, let's just say we'll do 500 to keep the math simple. You might get 3, 4 opt-ins, maybe 4 or 5 opt-ins or requests over the course of the month, right? 1 to 2%, which is pretty standard, industry standard. When you understand and can read the digital fingerprint, okay, the same amount of traffic, 500 people, you're going to get up to about 20%, almost 100 company records with people that are telling you their exact pain points. So you went from having 2 leads to 100 opportunities. Hence why that personalization follow-up system I was talking about a while ago is so important, because now instead of trying to follow up with 2 of them, you're following up with 50. But the opportunity explodes. It's literally is at your fingertips, not, to be too teasy there. You literally can pick and choose who you want to follow up with. You can pick and choose who you want to sell and what you want to sell, because you have access to their almost DNA-like fingerprint of their business before they even know you have that. It is an absolute game changer technology, and I would advise everybody out there to lean into what's called big data. Okay, the technical terms, what's called IP intelligence lookup records. Okay, and they do that based off of your MAC address, your IP address, your browsers, your browser screen types, your histories, all of these things. It's thousands of data points, and it generates a fingerprint for you and your laptop. When you have the tools to learn how to read the fingerprints and then take actionable intelligence and act on it, it literally will absolutely explode the amount of opportunities you get in your agency. So that is where I would lean into understanding how to read big data into a simple, easy to use fingerprint that allows you to explode your opportunities for your agency. So.
Nice. Valuable. Love it. Awesome. Lee, it's a big pleasure to get in my show to learn from you. You lead me to an emergency room. I need to spend time to consume all this information. Yeah. Tell our audience the best way how to keep learning from you, how to reach out to you, how to follow you.
Okay. Yeah, no, for all of my coaching and online courses and what I call the tribal knowledge side of things, marketingagencycoach.com. And if you want to learn how to read that digital fingerprint and get a lot of leads for very, very cheap, I would go to agencysonar.com.
Nice, guys. You can find the links in the description below. You can find social media accounts in the description. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify, and see you next time.
Thank you. Have a good day.